Dear friends, welcome to our channel. The topic of today's issue is how to quickly reduce high blood pressure. But before I tell you about the methods of reducing pressure, I will tell you at what numbers of pressure it really needs to be knocked down. Because now there is a rather strange situation. Many modern doctors recommend their patients to lower the pressure, even if their pressure is quite acceptable. I mean 130/80, 140/90. In fact, the normal blood pressure in a person under 30 years of age is 120/70. And it is really so, it is the pressure of astronauts. But if a person is 45, 50, and even more so 60 years old, the normal pressure in this case is 130/80 or 140/90. Yes, of course, it would be good to keep the pressure as in youth, 120/70, but it is difficult to fulfill. That is normal pressure at the age of over 45 to 50 years, 130/80 to 140/90. And only in the case when the pressure has risen above these figures, that's when the pressure really needs to be lowered. What should be used to lower the pressure when it is too high? Well, if the pressure really jumped very much, if you need to take extreme and high blood pressure, if it is really very high, say 180 or 200, it is enough to take blood pressure pills. In most cases, the pressure within 15 to 30 minutes is reduced to normal. But this is what we said about emergency care, that is, when the pressure is too high. And if the pressure has risen, but not enough to take an emergency drug, what can be done? The simplest method, and it is quite, let's say, harmless to the body, you can take 4 to 5 tablets of valerianca once. Within half an hour, the pressure should decrease. In addition, you can try to pour into a glass a teaspoon of hawthorn tincture, alcohol tincture, pour it half a glass of water, and all this to take with meals. Also, the pressure should be normalized fairly quickly. Another good method is to do breathing exercises. These breathing exercises help most people to reduce high blood pressure very quickly. Well, of course, not in cases where the pressure is under 200. That is, if the pressure is 160 to 170, you can try to do these breathing exercises. The next way to reduce pressure is self-massage of the ears and earlobes. Here everything is very simple. For 3 to 5 minutes it is necessary to rub the ears and massage the earlobes. But this method does not help everyone, but nevertheless you can try it too. But what helps in many cases much better is a special therapeutic exercise for the cervical spine. Neck exercises help to relieve spasm from clamped neck muscles and improve blood flow, the pressure gradually decreases. These exercises help. But here you should first try whether these exercises help you, or if they make your blood pressure on the contrary a little higher. That is, you should do this, try to perform this complex, it takes 10 to 15 minutes, and measure your blood pressure before you perform these exercises and after that. If after performing these exercises, your blood pressure decreases, take this complex into consideration. Another way to reduce high blood pressure is to take a proper bath. That is, you need to pour a bathtub with a water temperature of about 37 to 38 degrees. Pour salt into this bath, that is, the bath should be salty. Well, it is salt, of course, stir, and here in this bath to lie down for 10 to 15 minutes. As a result of taking such a bath, most people's blood pressure very quickly comes to normal. How much salt should be poured into the bath? Ask me, somewhere about 5 to 10 tablespoons, and stir it all up. Lie in the bath for 10 to 15 minutes, then move to bed, and after such a salty bath very many people are absolutely relaxed and many even fall asleep quickly. Another way how to quickly reduce the pressure, especially if the pressure increased in you on the background of some stress, is to walk quickly on the street. That is to walk at a fast pace for 15-20-30 minutes. And in this situation, the pressure can also very quickly come back to normal. But I realize that the advice to walk at a fast pace is not very suitable for those people who suffer from joint disease. That is, many people who have sick knees or hip joints, it is very difficult not only to walk at a fast pace, it is difficult for them to simply move. That is, therapeutic exercises for knees help many people not only to heal their bad legs, they also help to reduce high blood pressure. But we talked about those situations when the pressure suddenly spiked, and it must be brought down urgently. And now I will tell you more about ways to reduce high blood pressure, which does not require medication. The first way to reduce blood pressure, normalize it, is sunbathing, that is, or going to the solarium. Scientists have proven that under the influence of ultraviolet rays blood pressure decreases. And therefore in those hot countries where there is a lot of sun, strangely enough, hypertensives are less than in those countries where there is always not enough sunlight. Therefore, on sunny days, try to be outside as often as possible, that is, under the sunlight, or at least visit sometimes Solaris. The second method is quite effective, but which few people know about, is called floating. This is a fairly new, shall we say, invention. What is it? Floating is a capsule. It is absolutely isolated, closed. The bottom of the capsule is filled with warm water, salt water, approximately the temperature of the human body. Our patient lies down in this capsule, the capsule is closed and the light, sound disappears, that is, the person lies in complete darkness, in this kind of environment. It is called sensory deprivation in scientific terms, that is, the first to use this method were astronauts, that is, the absence of any external information. And after staying in this capsule for an hour, it is noticed that the pressure is very well normalized. Now these procedures have become popular, they are almost in any major city, but you can look on the internet that is closer to you. Another thing is that not everywhere these procedures are cheap, but still you can afford them, at least sometimes. They should be visited about once or twice a month. Well, and the third natural way to reduce blood pressure is a dairy and vegetable diet. If we want to achieve a persistent reduction in high blood pressure, especially if we have a headache, it is very important. You have elevated lower pressure, diastolic, you should try for a while to go to a milk and vegetable diet with low salt intake. That is, as little fried as possible, as little salted as possible, as little smoked as possible, more fruits, vegetables. Naturally, as is clear from the name, it is dairy products and porridge. Of meat is desirable only chicken or turkey. And the fat should be cut off. Well, and lean varieties of fish. This diet allows quite quickly normalize high blood pressure. And that's all for today, dear friends. Stay with us, be healthy, do not get sick and control your blood pressure. Have a good day.